Here's the uncomfortable truth about crypto Twitter that nobody wants to admit, that it is not growing. It's the same 50,000 people passing the same liquidity back and forth and recycling the same attention. If you are a founder, you probably have felt that. You have hit a ceiling. You post more, you engage more, but your actual user growth, that is completely flat. That's because you aren't acquiring users. You are just fighting for attention in a very closed room. I see this every day. I advise brands at Framint. We usually have to sit down and completely restructure their distribution channel because they have tapped out the degen market and have no way to reach outside world. So in this video, I'll break down how serious Web3 brands break out of city and how to spot your distribution ceiling and also how to tell if your project can actually survive outside city or not. So let's map this out properly. Okay, let's visualize the market. This is city and this is real world. You can see how vast it is. City is very small while the real world is very, very big because in city, we are barely having 50 to 100,000 people, but on real world, like in Web2 socials like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, we are having 2, 3, 4 billion users. And to survive in the real world, your product needs to pass three specific tests. And if you fail these tests, no amount of SEO or YouTube content will save you. Now, the first is vocabulary test. In this, we will see how Web3 brands speak about their product and how Web2 people usually understand. So here it is. In city, what we use is very technical words and words that are very relevant only to city community, right? Like for example, staking, governance, L1, L2, decentralization, all these. But in real world, none of this word makes sense. People don't care whether it is L1, L2, or even L3 is. What they care is whether your product will solve their problem or not. That's why in the real world section, there is only one thing which is solving their problem. So instead of using high technical words, you should focus on simplifying the words and focus on what problem exactly your product solves so that more and more users in Web2 space can actually relate about what your product is and how they can use it. If you, for example, if your social media or your landing page screams layer 2 solution, a ZK rollup, then you already have lost that user. They don't want layer 2, they want faster payments. Because in CT, you sell features like ZK rollup, decentralization, and others. But in real world, no one cares. They only cares about the solution. So for you, the action item is go look at your H1 headline in your website. And if your mom can't understand what your product is, you can't survive outside the bubble. Now let's go to test 2. Test 2 is the incentive test, which means why are people here? So in CT, users come because of speculation. They are expecting that if they invest in your coin, NFT, token, or whatever, they will rise eventually and they can sell their token. But in Web2 users, they aren't coming here for money. They are for solving a problem that your product can solve, right? So they are basically here for the utility that your product is giving to them. And that's how you can have a user who will stay with your brand for a longer period of time. And remember, if your product only works when the token goes up, you can't market it on YouTube because YouTube viewers don't look for casinos, they look for solution. The action item for you in this step will be for you to look up that does your product even solve a problem when the token price is completely flat? If the answer is no, you are completely stuck in the bubble forever because you can't control the chart, but you can control your product. Finally, test 3, that is friction test. In CT, what usually happens is you connect wallet, then you sign transactions, and then you approve limit. But for Web2 users, if you have so much process in using the product, Web2 users won't even try it. Why? Because it is terrifying for them. Remember, for Web2 users, email login is far better than MetaMask login. And currently, we are seeing this with a lot of brands like Abstract. You can see here, they can easily click on the Google and their account will automatically be created in the backend by the team. So this is how you onboard new users from Web2. And if you're trying to acquire users from YouTube or search, and the first thing you ask from them is to connect your wallet, you will have a 99% bounce rate. To survive outside city, you need progressive onboarding. Let them use the product first, then connect your wallet later. So these were the three tests that you guys can easily take for your brand to check whether your brand will survive outside city or not. Now, let's take an example for that. First of all, let's see what a bad website looks like. Balancer. AMMs made easy, the ultimate platform for custom liquidity solution. Balancer V3 perfectly balances simplicity and so, for a Web3 user, it makes sense that what is AMMs? What is the need of custom liquidity solutions? And what is Balancer V3? But for a Web2 users, none of this makes sense. And if they come to check this website, they will completely feel overwhelmed. For Web2 users, it's a completely scam or too complicated. So if you're expecting users to come from YouTube or search, then definitely change the copy of this website. Now, let's look at another website which is really good. Phantom. Phantom is a Solana wallet. Meet Phantom Cash. Okay. The crypto app for everyone. Your trusted companion. Download Phantom in this. Keep everything in one place. Now, this is the website that even Web2 people can come and understand your trusted companion, make sense, the crypto app for everyone. So people won't feel overwhelmed if they're also coming from YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Simple verbs, clear outcomes. This can survive on YouTube and can also convert people coming from there. Remember, crypto Twitter has stopped being an acquisition channel for a lot of serious Web3 brands. It has become a closed loop of attention. If you are a new brand or launching a new product, then CT is the best place. Why? Because of early trust, fast feedback, and peer evaluation. You're talking to the people who already understand the space. But here, brand fades faster than people changing their hobbies. So eventually you need to move on from CT and expand on other socials if you really want your growth to be sustainable. Now, this is the mindset that I want you to have. Audience maturity is always greater than distribution maturity. Growth feels hard because your audience has matured fastly than your distribution. And once founder understands this, they stop asking for more content and they start asking the right questions. And that's where we come into play. We help founders fix this gap. We help you translate your crypto product into a marketable solution, and then we build the distribution system to scale it. If you want to know whether your product can survive outside city or not and how to fix it if it can't, click the link below. Let's have a proper diagnosis. Till then, see you in the next one.